Week 10 into my maintenance journey, let's discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is enidsabel. I share beauty, lifestyle, and faith as well as my GLP-1 journey. I have lost 35 pounds on Zepbound, and now I am in my maintenance stage documenting week to week. So this week, we're going to discuss how week 10 went. I will be discussing side effects, measurement, and weight. And then I will discuss afterwards my comparison report of last week to this week, as well as share my personal things towards the end of the video. Before I jump into side effects, if you guys can do me a favor and hit like and hype the video, it would be greatly appreciated. All right, let's jump into side effects. It's been 3 weeks and I am still experiencing nausea. Last night specifically, I was experiencing nausea. And honestly, I am a little bit unsure if it was related to some pain that I was having in my backside, like right here in my right, which also, spoiler alert, I haven't worked out and I was actually going to work out yesterday. And the pain was so severe that even as I walked, I was feeling it. I have a feeling that it could have been from carrying the baby. So you guys know my granddaughter was here for the past week. Best time, but I'm not going to get distracted. We'll talk about that later. But I think that the strain might have affected my back, the 44-year-old back. I'm not sure, but it really was painful. So I had to sit last night out and put a heating pad, take some Tylenol, and hope that I was going to be renewed by this morning. I am feeling better, happy to say. But aside from that, I was experiencing nausea around the same time that my pain was at its worst. So I am not sure if one thing had to do with the other, but I have been feeling nauseous and that has not even been related to pain. I know that that has been related to the shot. For those of you who might be new here, I am on 2.5. The highest dose that I have gotten to is 5 milligrams. That is the dose that I stayed at losing weight. And then once I was ready to go into maintenance, I went down to 2.5 because I did not want to lose any more weight. Along with the nausea, the hunger suppression has been doing really well. So I haven't been feeling like I want to gravitate towards sweets. And I say hunger suppression, but yes, I haven't been wanting to eat large meals or frequently eat meals, but also I haven't been gravitating towards sweet as much as I have last month. So that is a plus. And I do believe that probably next week, I'm going to be entering my PMS week. I want to say, I feel like that just comes like every 2 weeks, but no, it will be towards the end of the month. It's insane. Like this month is flying on by. So either next week or the week after, I will be hitting my PMS week. So we'll see how we do on that. But I have been doing really well with my meals. I haven't been overeating. And I felt like at the beginning of the maintenance stage, I started to feel that increase in appetite. I feel like now the body is starting to normalize and acclimated to the 2.5 coming down from 5 milligrams. So I think that that's what's happening here as well. And I feel like a few of you might have mentioned it in the comments. So I do agree with that it's just that my body is now acclimating to the 2.5. And now we are finally just stabilizing. And I like that. I love that for me. So that is good. Let's jump into weigh-in because if you guys recall and saw last week's video, the weigh-in wasn't the problem. Like the weight was 148 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. Was it? Yeah, I believe it was 148 pounds. But the comparison report, it looked like my numbers were all over the place. And it looked like I had gains like 3% in just body fat percentage. Did I say that right? Not sure. Either way, we're going to go into the comparison report later and we will see what the numbers reflect. But let's cut into that now so we can take a look at how I've been doing this past week in terms of weight. Hey, you guys got me in PJs, but I am going to do this now before it gets too late. It is about to be 9 a.m. exactly. So let's see how we do. All right, so I am back to 148.8, and I believe that was the weight that I was at the week before last. So let's go into the comparison report. Let's talk about the results, and then let's talk about how I've been feeling throughout the week. I did touch on it a little bit earlier, but let's touch on that a little bit. If you guys are interested, I am also displaying the segmental fat mass and segmental muscle mass. That's where you see the left arm, the right arm. The top square is the segmental fat mass and the diamond is the segmental muscle mass. So for the left arm, it's showing the arm fat mass is 4 pounds and the segmental muscle mass is 4.6. Right arm, it's 4 pounds. Segmental muscle mass is 4.6. The trunk, which is this midsection area, is showing 29.4 pounds of fat mass and 40.2 pounds of muscle mass. Left leg, it's showing 8.4 pounds in fat mass and 14.8 in muscle mass. Same for the right. I will also link in the description the scale that I use because I know a lot of you ask me. I was trying to do this fancy thing where I put the QR code up on the screen for you guys to scan it. But last week I was just having a little bit of technical difficulties with that, and I just wanted to get the video uploaded to you guys. I will see if I can do the QR code. If I do, it'll be up here. And if not, please check the description box. I always place my links in the description box. Let's go into the comparison report. Not sure why I decided to bust out in song, but let's do it. 7 days ago, I weighed myself in. That would be last Thursday. I have lost 0.2 pounds and I have lost in body fat percentage 1.7%. So weight, I went from 149 to 148.8. So I messed that one up earlier. I was at 149 pounds last week. I weighed myself. So I told you guys that I had to see what the difference was because when I weighed myself last week, I did it late in the afternoon. It was 2:03 p.m. This morning, I made sure, you guys got me in my PJs. I made sure to weigh myself. I did only have a little bit of coffee because, you know, coffee. And I weighed in at 148.8 pounds, which now reflects the 0.2 pounds loss. The BMI remains the same. We are at 27.4. The body fat percentage is now at 37.5 and I've lost 1.7%. Now, the body fat mass is now down 2.6 pounds. Last week, it reflected 58.4 pounds of body fat mass, and now we are down to 55.8. Remember, you guys, I was just like, how does it happen? How does it happen? I am not sure, but my AI, you guys know, my best friend, told me, hey, like, this is not like an actual number. You're weighing in the afternoon. You need to get some water in your system. That's how the scale best reads results. So I listened to AI. I did what I had to do. And now it looks like it stabilized the numbers. I told you I would wait and see. So I am down to 2.6 pounds and I've been hydrating. Okay. So yes, she's pink. All right, let's focus. Muscle percentage went up 1.6%. Muscle mass went up 2.2 pounds. And I like going into the body water percentage is up by 1.3%. Body water mass is up by 2 pounds. The subcutaneous fat came down 1.2%. The visceral fat has remained the same. The metabolic age came back down to 46. So all in all, happy with the results. Can I be doing better? Absolutely. But I am happy with my results. I don't know why I'm yelling. I feel like I'm yelling. Am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling. All in all, I am happy with these results. And this week, to be fully transparent, I have not exercised at all. So my daughter came on Saturday morning with my grandbaby, and she is the most precious. But my granddaughter is, guys, the best thing ever. I just can't. I can't even explain it. But she is so precious. Anyway, my daughter and my granddaughter came on Saturday. It's been back to back. They just left yesterday. Sad. Tears were shed. But I did have the most amazing week and Mother's Day that I could have asked for. And I feel so blessed. So even though they are gone, I am grateful. I couldn't help but be grateful from the minute that I dropped off my daughter, my granddaughter, literally shedding tears, thanking God for the opportunity that I got to spend with them. It truly was beautiful. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But it truly was beautiful. Now, I went off on a tangent and now I can't remember where I left off, but truly blessed. And I did not, oh, that's where I left off. I did not get to work out. And I've also had a lot of back to back things going on. So when I finally was like, okay, let me work out, the body was like, no, you're not. We ain't working out. Get to bed. It could have been also that I had a really intense week. On Monday, my daughter and I worked a very large makeup job, which was actually incredible. It was for a foster home, and I did the makeup of 12 girls. It was supposed to be 17, but we were on our feet in the venue from 8 a.m. all the way till 5:15, 5:30 p.m. It was a very long day. I did not sit at all. So my body might be responding to that. And finally, now it's just kind of like, ugh. And I'm just having a lot of pain along with carrying the baby, carrying the carrier. It could have been a mix of things. So I wouldn't probably say that I was inactive, because I wasn't inactive. I was very active, in fact. But I wouldn't say that I was like intentionally working out. I guess that's what I want to say. But I did have a lot of movement throughout the week. So that could have helped some. Did I eat the best? I wouldn't say it was the worst, but I did eat out more than I normally do in a week. And it was just due to the fact that I was going here, going there, doing this, doing that. So I would say I did eat out a lot, and I probably didn't get the nutrition that I needed to get. So there is that. But with that being said, I want to talk about a brand that I have been partnering with. As you guys know, I am focused on body recomp, and my goal is to be able to do it in a sustainable way where I'm able to maintain it and eventually get off the GLP-1. Now, that is something that I know is difficult for me to do on my own, which is why I'm excited to partner with Nourish on this next step of my journey. One thing I have always struggled with is hitting my protein goals and making sure that I'm also making the right choices in terms of food. I am a person who I struggle with what to eat. And because I'm in this maintenance stage, it's really helpful not to have to figure it out all by myself. So I decided to give Nourish a try, and they pair you up with a dietitian. And that's not even the best part. The best part is that most insurances cover the cost completely. And if not, it's at a very low cost. They say that 94% of patients pay $0 out of pocket. With my insurance, I have United Healthcare, and my copay out of pocket is only $10, which to me, I don't mind spending the $10 knowing that I have someone who is keeping me accountable, who is helping me in making wise food choices, and will help me sustain in the longer term. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. And they also have the Nourish guarantee that if you are not satisfied with your first visit, you can either change your dietitian, or if you did have to come out of pocket, they will give you a full refund. So you really have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I had my first appointment last week, and it was super easy to book. I actually did it through the app. You download the app. I answered a bunch of questions, and it paired me with my dietitian. And I am loving her. She is such a sweet and energetic person. She was amazing. And I love that when I was talking to her, because the first call was the intake, it didn't feel restrictive at all. She wasn't just like, well, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. She was very much aligned with, well, yes, food should be fun. You should be able to enjoy the things you eat, but I want you to be able to build healthy habits. And that is exactly what I was looking for. I was so happy to hear her say it, because I don't want to think that maintenance is just going to be vegetables and protein and I don't get to enjoy certain things. So she is going to help me build the sustainable and healthy habits, and I still occasionally get to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy. And she was just so positive throughout the whole entire conversation that I truly, like, the time went by so fast that we were like, oh my God, where did the time go? But I'm so excited because by the time you probably see this video, I would have already had my second call with her, and she gave me homework to do. So I have been also scanning my food to show her, and she is also going to review my lab work. So that's another thing that I had to send her. They work with your actual blood work, and then they see where your deficiencies are, where you can build. Now, I told her I am not ready to get off my GLP-1, so she is very clear on that. But the most important part is building the sustainable habits, and that is my focus, and building on protein. So I am excited for this next step in my journey, and just really caring for myself, caring for my body in a long-term sustainable way. You guys want to check it out? I'm going to put the link in the description box, but please let me know if you tried it or if you plan on trying it. and we can do this together and we can compare notes. So thank you again so much, Nourish, for partnering with me in this next phase of my life. So that is basically what I have been working on. But all in all, guys, I feel like I am on track. I have Spain coming up in the next few weeks. When I tell you the time has gone by so fast, I am in the middle of ordering outfits, which has been kind of exciting. I know I discussed how I've been hesitant to buy new pieces of clothes, but I have been, and it has been fun going shopping. I did get a few pieces, which I do want to do a separate video of, just like the haul for Spain. If you guys are interested in that, please drop it in the comments. I am interested to know who is interested in the haul for Spain. And I also got some great gifts for Mother's Day, which this was one of them. So my daughter and my grandbaby and her husband got me this Owala. They told me to retire Stanley. Don't know what they have against Stanley. But I mean, I will say that this is a little bit easier to carry around. And no, this is not sponsored. But I will say this was a little bit easier to carry around. And that's the only thing with the Stanley that I have, is that I bring it to church with me, the Stanley, but sometimes it would leak in the car. So this is just kind of really cool. It doesn't leak. It has this little this little handle, and it's my favorite color. And my grandbaby, my daughter, and my son-in-law gave it to me. So it has quickly become the best gift that I have. But I love that it's also encouraging me to drink more water. So this is the thing I discovered. I'm ranting here, but real quick. This is the thing for those of you who don't have this. I think it's really cool. It has this spout where you can drink out of the straw, or the wider spout where you can just kind of chug it. So I made the mistake of just kind of drinking from the straw, but didn't realize that this is the chugging part. So I kept on throwing it on myself, and my daughter was like, "Why do you keep on drinking it like you're chugging it, but from the straw?" And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not used to these fancy little things. So technically, if I just want to drink it from the straw, I just drink it from the straw without tilting it and getting it all over me. But this is helping me with the hydration piece. And that's something that I discussed with my dietitian as well. She wants to see me drink more water, as I discussed. Coffee is technically my hydration, and it's not the best. So I have been gravitating, since I got this, I have been gravitating more towards water and getting in some water intake. So I am happy for that. I will probably do a separate video. I don't want to talk your ear off, but next week I will update you on the conversation that I had with my dietitian more in depth, because there was a lot of great information, and I love that I am learning so much more. So we will talk about that next week, as well as something that I have been experiencing the last few weeks, which hasn't been the best, but I'm giving it another week, and I am trying a few things. So I want to give you like full information, but I think it is a side effect, and I'm not too crazy about it. But we'll talk about it next week. I promise we'll talk about it next week. I don't want this video to run extra long, but I'm also monitoring what I'm experiencing to see what angle it's coming from. So there is that. Guys, I want to show you real quick another gift that I got from my granddaughter. It says, "I love you bunches, mama." That's what she calls me. Well, not yet, because she can't speak, but that's what she's going to call me. And look at her little feet in this is supposed to be like a bouquet of roses. And can we? From Isabella 2026. Like, I cannot. When I tell you the obsession that I have with this little girl, like, y'all did not warn me that being a grandmother was this intense. Like, I am so in love. And I'm telling you, I just had the best time. I am so in love with my family. Like, I'm in a stage, not that I have never been grateful about my family, my children, but I am in just such a grateful stage in my life that's like, when I'm usually praying, I'm just mostly thanking God rather than focusing on the situation and the problems. I'm just grateful, right? I'm just kind of grateful for the stage that I am in. I am grateful for this beautiful, healthy child, for my beautiful family, and for God's presence throughout all of it. So I know I'm going off on a rant, but I want to encourage you to do something. And I want you to practice this every single day for at least a month and see how your perspective changes and how things might change in your life. I want you to thank God every single day for at least 5 things in your life. And some people might say, I don't have 5 things to be grateful for, but I promise you that you have 5 things to be grateful for. If you have a bed to sleep in, if you have a roof over your head, if you have people who care for you and love you, if you have a pet that you love, I promise you that if you think about it, you have 5 things to be grateful for. If you have food in the fridge, you have things to be grateful for, because there are people who are less fortunate than us, and we make it work with what we have. If you are watching this video right now, you have something to be grateful for, because you have a device, you have a TV, you have something that you can watch it on. I promise you, you have something to be grateful for. I want you to think about the things that you have in your life that you are blessed with. The weight loss journey in and of itself is a struggle. Maintaining the weight that you have lost is a struggle, but there is not one moment that I am not grateful for where I am right now in my life. And I can tell you, and a few of you have noticed that even last year, we're almost coming up on the year in July, and I do want to do a special segment for that. But almost a year ago, with all of the weight gain and the way that my body was feeling and how heavy I was feeling, not just like physically, because I was heavy physically, but even emotionally and mentally, I have come a long way. And I think that there just needs to be a shift. And again, not that I wasn't grateful last year, I really was. But I think that there has been a lot of shifting in my life to just come to the realization that I am in now. And I am grateful for that. I might do another video. I have a lot of videos to put out, guys. It is hard to edit and put out this amount of content back to back. So I am sorry if I am lagging with content, but I do have a lot of things to share, even from a spiritual perspective. So I want to get on that as well. But I just want you to think about all of those things. And I'm sorry, it was a long way of just saying, be grateful for where you are in your stage right now, in your journey right now. And just think, even if you're not in your maintenance stage, where you will be when you get to that point. That in and of itself is also a motivator. So I am going to close out this video. Finally, I know. And I also want to remind you, check out the Nourish app. I promise you, like, that is something worth checking out for you and your health, and for possibly $0 out of pocket. Like, sign me up. Wait, I am signed up, but like, look into it, because I am learning a lot. So the link will also be pinned in the comments and in the description, and I will have my special link for you to access it. Guys, you have always been a bright part of this journey in my life, and you keep me motivated. So I want to thank you again. I love you guys so much, and I pray that God blesses you in new and amazing ways each and every single day. Take care.